Okay, so we're going to start off the special ankle test with the auto ankle rolls to screen out a fracture. So first off, you're going to palpate the lateral fibula, and you're going to palpate the posterior distal 6 centimeters of that in order to elicit any pain that would indicate a fracture over there. And you're going to palpate the medial malleolus, same thing, posterior distal 6 centimeters, and then move on to the 5th metatarsal head. Any pain there is positive. And then lastly is the navicular bone. Going to give some pressure on that. And any pain or problems with any of those would indicate the patient is going to need to get an x-ray. Also, if they can't ambulate 4 steps. That's the last of the rules. Lastly, while you're there, palpate the cuboid, because a lot of times with the inversion ankle sprains, that can be damaged or malaligned. So you might as well check it while you're there. Okay, now to check some ligaments. First off, you're going to do that anterior drawer test. So you're going to get a hold of calcaneus, get a hold of the tibia, put your finger right where that ATFL ligament is, and then anteriorly glide with the bottom hand. Any axis gapping would indicate an ATFL tear or damage. Next in the series is just a pure varus stress test. So that's going to be more for that calcaneal fibular ligament. So you get a hold of the midfoot, and then you can get a hold of the rear foot with the backhand, and then put that index finger right where that CF ligament is, and then just invert. Any excess gapping would be a positive test for damage of that CF ligament. Alright, and then last in our series of lateral ankle sprain tests is the posterior drawer test. This is going to test for that PTF ligament. So you're going to get your index finger right on that posterior talofibular ligament, cup your hand on the talus, and then just posterior glide. And any excess gapping would indicate a problem with that PTF ligament. Okay, now we have just basic test for eversion ankle sprains. So first up is a valgus stress test. So it's going to test the deltoid ligament, get a hold of the heel, get a hold of the forefoot, and then you're just going to evert. Any excess gapping there would indicate a deltoid ligament injury. And now for a more global test with the rotation test. So get your hand in the same position, but a little more forearm on the forefoot, and then you're just going to rotate externally. Any excess gapping there would stretch out that or test that deltoid ligament and give you a positive test and elicit pain. Alright, and last off here is Kliger's test. And this is another good test for that deltoid ligament. So you're just going to get a hold of the forefoot this time. Put your finger right where that deltoid ligament is to test it, and then just rotate. And any excess gapping or pain would be a positive test with this one. Okay, and now we're going to move on to some high ankle sprain tests. So we're going to do the tap test. So you're going to get a hold of the tib, and then just give some strikes to that heel, which is going to compress that tibiofibular area and elicit pain with a high ankle sprain. Another high ankle sprain test is the compression distraction test. So you're going to give some compression or crushing force to that tib and fib. Just move distally, and as you move distally, it should increase and elicit more and more pain with a high ankle sprain. And it's also an indication of a fracture down there. And next, got the Molder's test. This is going to indicate a neuroma in between the digits. So you're just going to get a hold of those digits and then just give a compression force, and that would indicate a neuroma. Okay. Now we're doing some ankle measurements. So this is a figure 8. So you're going to get a hold of a tape measure, and then you're going to go from posterior tibialis down the navicular, around the foot, around the fifth med head, and inferior to both malleoli, and then wrap around. Where the tape crosses over, that's your measurement. And it's a great tool for determining swelling or imbalances between right and left after an injury, or picking up something like congestive heart failure. Our next test is going to be the navicular drop. So you're going to have the patient seated, put your finger on the navicular, and then have them weight bear. Normally we'd have them stand equally, but just for the camera we had them stagger a little bit. Any massive drop would indicate forefoot supination, or pronation, I'm sorry. And last up is the windlass test for plantar fasciitis. So you're going to have the patient weight bear because it's a little more sensitive, and then have them extend all of their toes, which is going to put that ligament on, or that fascia on a stretch, which is then going to elicit pain at the calcaneal tuberosity, kind of that medial calcaneus, indicating plantar fasciitis.